We're here live from Denver, Colorado at the ISTE Conference, and I'm here with Dr. Michael Cohen, from the CEO of Cignition. Michael, how are you today? What do you think about ISTE?
Oh, it's great. It's big and crowded.
It's amazing here, 15,000 educators all coming together to support students and raise student achievement. You've got some interesting things going these days at Cignition. Talk to us a little bit about it.
Okay, so Cignition is a very research-oriented organization, and we've had the really good luck of having a lot of grant funding from the Gates Foundation, Chan Zuckerberg, Overdeck Foundation, and so on. And everything we do is based on research. What we do is high-intensity tutoring, meaning tutoring that happens 2, 3, 4 times a week for each group of kids, and it's a collaborative learning approach. So it's not just a matter of putting a few kids together, it's a matter of getting them collaborating with each other. So for example, for math, they're collaborating with each other to solve problems.
Now, take us through the process here. Where does somebody go to find out more information? What's your website?
Cignition.com.
And what is the onboarding process? This is something that a district signs up with, or this is something that families sign up with?
So 99% of it is districts.
Okay.
That's where we're really finding a lot of business. So parents can go and sign up for their children, but districts are just eating us up. There's so much work. It's wonderful.
And talk to us a little bit about the tutors. How do you select your tutors?
So what you have to keep in mind is that because we're doing collaborative learning, what that means is a tutor doesn't just present a procedure. Here's how you add 2 fractions, right? Rather, a group of students are working together on problem solving, and students can go in many different directions, which is great. We're trying to help exercise their ability to think and reason and brainstorm and interact with each other. Therefore, that places an extra burden on the tutors, right? A tutor really needs to understand the material. The tutor needs to recognize, well, here, this kid has some insight there, and help them get it out rather than, try to direct them to a very specific approach to solving a problem. We're getting at helping them develop their thinking and reasoning and ability to describe their reasoning to a colleague or react to a colleague's reasoning. So that's much harder for a teacher than just saying, oh, well, learn this procedure.
So talk to us a little bit about what a traditional tutoring session looks like. Is it during the school day? Is it after the school day?
Well, we're flexible and it depends on the needs of the district, but we very strongly suggest during the school day. And the reason is that really affects attendance. And, parents have complicated lives, and if we want to keep kids after school to be part of the tutoring, but the parent needs to pick them up, it interferes. So we try very hard to schedule during the school day.
And what subjects are available?
Math and English language arts right now. And that's really business driven. That's what everybody's asking for.
Now talk a little bit about the results that you're finding.
Well, so, we've done a lot of research behind the approach that we take. And the way a typical research project works is, for example, to develop collaborative learning. We had funding from the Gates and Overdeck Foundations, did a year of research where we covered a spring, summer, and fall semester. And we were trying many different approaches. Everything was videotaped. Then we had 3 PhD researchers reviewing all the videos. And every 3 weeks, they'd have a meeting to look at the most recent tutoring sessions and decide on what to try next. So every 3 weeks for a year, we're revising the system, trying new ideas, keeping track of what's working, and we learned a lot of basic lessons from that. So the lessons we learned were things like, how do you design a problem so it gives kids something to talk about, right? If there's just one way to get to the answer and just one answer, there's not much to talk about. So we learned a lot about designing problems that give a basis for collaboration between students.
Now, with all of that collaboration, I'm sure there's feedback. Talk to us a little bit about some of the things that the schools have told you to help with your tutoring.
When we work with a school district, a school, a class in a school, we do a lot of measurement and reporting to the teacher and to the administrators at the school. So just as an example, there's some unique things that we report. Some things we report, there'll be a test question at the end, and we'll know how well the students understood what was taught at that time. And it's based on standards and things like that. But we also report on other things like student engagement. How well did each student at each session participate in the discussion, participate with their fellow students? And things like that are of great interest to the teachers. And, you have to keep in mind, for the most part, these are students that struggled with mathematics or struggled with English language arts. So they're not, initially they may be a little hesitant to speak up. But it's been really gratifying that what we're finding is within a few weeks into the school year, the kids have gained a lot of trust and of their tutor, of their fellow students, and they're much more willing to speak up. And we've even had many teachers tell us, hey, even my shy kids are starting to speak up in class, which is wonderful because this is in a subject in which they felt like they were struggling. So it's really wonderful to see.
It's pretty amazing to see the results that are happening in the classrooms. With the tutoring sessions, I wanted to ask, are they solo tutoring sessions or is it tutor on group?
In general, most of our sessions are collaborative learning, meaning it's a group of students. Now they're each, they may not be in exactly the same place, but everything we do is virtual.
Okay.
But it's typically with a group of students that are actively working on problems, explaining their reasoning to their peers, and basically brainstorming in some sense with their peers about problem solving.
School districts that are interested in learning more information might have a question about the financial process. How does all of that work on the back end? Is it by student? Is it by subject? How does all that work?
Well, we typically, we get RFPs, requests for proposals from many, many districts, and we'll define our cost structure there. And the cost structure is roughly by the session. So it's, our main cost is the tutor time, and then we have to, there's some profit on top of that. So that the pricing is based on the amount of tutor time, number of sessions, and there's also some project management time. So for every deployment, there's a project manager that develops a close relationship with the teachers, with other school officials, and has regular meetings with them. So we work very hard to be very much in sync with what's going on in the teacher's classroom, what she would like us to cover, but making sure every student is well prepared next time they go into that teacher's classroom.
Talking today to Dr. Mike Cohen about the great things that he's doing at Cignition. Mike, where do you see the future of all this going?
Well, research continues, and we see doing more and more of it. We see possibly integrating certain technologies that can help, but we care very deeply about the human-human relationship in learning. So although aspects of AI may come and aid us in certain ways at certain times, we'll never throw away the tutors. We really believe in the importance of that human-human reaction.
Mike, where do we learn more information? What's your website?
Go to cignition.com, Cignition.
And of course, we're going to have all the links to everything in our show notes. Don't forget to check out that description. Mike, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoy ISTE today.
Thank you very much.
Reporting live from Denver, Colorado at the ISTE Conference. My name is Jeff Bradbury. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and check out all the great things happening on the TeacherCast Educational Network.
You've been listening to the TeacherCast Educational Network, hosted by Jeff Bradbury. Please reach out to the show with all of your questions on Twitter @TeacherCast or online at www.teachercast.net. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. And please take a moment to write a review in the App Store.